episode of the Satellite. I am I was joined by my co-host Jake once more, but he's disappeared off the planet of the Earth. He's back, and today we have our guest is actually going to be our tech guy, Albert. He calls himself Kurt for some reason, but yeah, today's going to be a pretty FPS heavy discussion episode. So I hope you guys are strapped in for that one. So start us off, Jake.
All right. Well, first of all, just to get rid of some of the club news, we just want to thank everyone for coming out for the Among Us event. There were about 6 people that showed up, and just congratulations to everyone who won a prize. And also for our next event on October 24th at 11 a.m., there will be a CS:GO event which we're co-hosting with the UBCO Engineering Society.
Wait, are you serious?
Check that out. Yeah.
Dude, the engineer. Yeah. Oh, dude, perfect.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. That's still pretty cool.
So yeah, that's kind of it for the club news going on. But in the world of Overwatch, there's been a ton of news today.
Yeah.
An extreme amount. From different teams basically through October, but a lot today and a little bit last night. A bunch of players just got released, told their contracts aren't getting renewed for the next year. So if we can pull up the list, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was looking for that too because I'm like, damn, because I ain't got the list. Damn, they're dropping Apply, Gig, and McGreevy?
Wow, that just happened. Oh my god.
Oh
4 minutes ago before we even started.
Okay. Well, that's something to talk about right off the bat.
They are, wow, that was unexpected.
All right, hold up, Jake. I think a lot of shit's gonna pop out. So why don't you just highlight the interesting ones and then pick one to talk about, and then we'll go from there.
That's that. I guess probably one of the big ones right now would be, at least probably the teams to highlight right now would be Gladiators, Outlaws, Dallas are probably some of the bigger ones. Dallas dropping basically their entire NA roster. So they dropped Note, Note, Onigod, Crimzo, and Paintbrush got dropped today, which kind of sends them into the direction of probably going full Korean. And then London ended up dropping almost their whole roster, which, interesting enough, they only kept the ones that have potential to be traded.
Oh, like Glister?
Yeah, so they kept Glister, they kept, who else? Sanguinar, Burnar, and Fuse.
Yeah, it looks like they finally got rid of Krillin.
Yeah, Krillin lasted as long as Prophet and Gesture. They're top 2 players from the other years.
Dude, Krillin is wait, is Gesture also up for trade? No,
Gesture's still on Seoul.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything from Seoul apart from them getting rid of their GM.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna get rid of their team, honestly. Like they have such a good build now. Like for the first time, that team in the finals actually looked like they were meshing together so well.
Yeah.
Like the Prophet really well combo. Yeah. I think like the only thing Seoul Dynasty would really need is like because like Toby's still good. They have Bedosin and Creative, which Creative is kind of cracked. I don't know if you noticed it, but like Creative in the finals, every time when he was the last guy to die, he would always take one other person down with him. Maybe not always, but that shit was hilarious. I think Seoul Dynasty just needs like a Glister. Another Prophet type, because Prophet can't come in for the Ash battles per se. Like he did pop off that one clip, or he just gets like 4 headshots in a row.
Yeah, he got a 5K.
Yeah, I think Prophet's still better for that like Pharah, Tracer, Genji kind of role.
Yeah, I would assume they probably want another top tier hit scan player to complement Fitz if there's another double sniper.
Dude, Fitz is weird. I can't tell if Fitz is good or not, because half the time Fitz is like cracked. His widow headshots are always landing, and then the other time he's just kind of fucking around and doing his own shit.
He's kind of like a playoff player. Like I don't know if you remember last year's playoffs,
Mhm.
but I remember him popping off on Doomfist. Like
Mm,
he showed up
really?
really big in the playoffs, but
Mhm.
was nowhere to be seen for the regular season.
Yeah, I think that would be like the real reason to pick up another DPS player, another hitscan player, is just to replace Fitz,
Yeah,
because Fitz can really. I think they win or lose by Fitz sometimes. Marvel,
yeah.
their tank line's sometimes weird because they run this double tank shit. Um, but
They
yeah,
run
I think
they
Soul
run
Dynasty though.
Marvel on off tank when he's a main tank player, which
Yeah,
is sometimes a little bit weird.
Dynasty definitely looks to be the better of the team. Like Dallas Field. Moving on to Dallas Field. Paintbrush. They're finally getting rid of him. I remember when they first moved that guy up, he was brought up to like what Dallas, then went to Gladiators, then went back to Dallas or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah,
Uh,
and so I'm glad they're getting rid of him because every time I saw him play is it's kind of lackluster. Like I don't know what he was doing. He's kind of trying to be a Reddit Lucio, and
yeah, it
I don't
wasn't
know.
really working too well.
Yeah.
The next big one probably would be, well, Gladiators got rid of Jaru, their Finnish support duo, and
Oh, they got
OG.
rid of the support duo?
Yeah, they got rid of Big Goose and Shaz
Dude,
together.
that's where you already know what London Spitfire is gonna pick up then, right?
But Big Goose retired.
Oh,
He no
Big Goose.
longer wants to play anymore.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah,
know
after he
what?
got dropped, he decided he doesn't want to play.
I'm gonna be honest. That is the best thing Big Goose could have done because I think Big Goose was the one that was holding back the Big Goose Shaz combo.
Yeah, he fell off this year. His Brig
Yeah,
wasn't as good, and his Lucio wasn't working out as well as last time.
yeah, and his Baptiste wasn't that good either. His Mercy, he just didn't feel good. You know, it just felt like he fell apart this season.
Something wasn't working with him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but they got rid of Jaru?
yeah. I mean, they brought Kevster in, which is
Oh,
basically
okay.
better Jaru because he can play
Kevster,
whatever he wants.
Kevster is from Dallas? No, Kevster is
No,
also on.
Kevster was on NV, like NV Academy, I believe, and then played for Team Doge when they were in
Oh, okay.
Contenders,
Yeah,
and then got picked up
by Gladiators.
by Gladiators. But they still have Mirror, who fills sort of can fill the sort of like specialist picks like the Far and the Doom.
Dude, Mirror is weird.
Uh, yeah, Mirror has a very weird hero pool,
Can we
and
just talk
then
about like Gladiators for a bit? Like, I don't know if Mirror has a very good pool or if Gladiators was so fucked without Big Goose. They're like, listen, Mirror, you're the only leftover player we have.
I
We
think they just
need
want
you.
I think they want to clone Mirror like 6 times and just put him on every role
I
because it
don't.
seems like that's what he's good at.
Ah, maybe.
Uh,
I think it's just
yeah,
more of Mirror being like, yo, I can do this. And it's not as much of a call of like whether he can do it or not. It's more of he wants to do it. So they're like, oh, we got no other players. Cause
yeah.
like, I don't know, do you think Mirror has looked good when he flexed onto like the Zarya and the Brig role?
I thought
I think he
Zarya
plays
looked
it.
good.
I think he plays it at a good DPS sense, but it's not enough to like replace a complete support or like
No,
a tank player.
he couldn't play those roles if it wasn't in like specific metas or play styles. Like
Yeah.
he couldn't. He's not able to adapt those either like heavy DPS Zarya playstyle or the more like I guess aggressive Brig.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of why he's good at those is because he's a DPS player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but apart from that, I don't really think he would never swap to those roles ever. He'd be
Yeah.
firmly just put in on like a flex basis.
All right. So wait, I want to touch on the big bombshell that we touched on at the start of this, but then we had to move past just to outline everything. Let's talk about Gig, Apply, and McGravy. I don't even know who Apply is. Who's Apply?
Apply was he was one of the guys that was let go in the whole Florida Mayhem goes full Korean thing
Oh
last year.
yeah.
And then he just never played this year because there's KSP and Shax, and they do everything he does but better.
Oh, applies a DPS and he was on this team. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. He never played.
Wow,
He
he
was
actually just never played.
his tweets are fire, but yeah, Gig
Dude,
was a super aggressive Reinhardt at the beginning of the season.
see, I can see why they
Uh,
getting rid of Gig, but why are they getting rid of McGravy?
probably because McGravy is not the greatest off tank in the world, and they
Really?
can probably he's really not that great.
He's
Like he's
not the
good.
best, but like I think he's one of the reasons why like McGravy or like why LA Valiants got far at all. You know, like his diva style was such a for lack of a better word, it was a defensive tracer. Because whenever I watched McGravy, like he would always dive forward and then just fall back immediately with his defense matrix just right on Rain or Lastra and just be like, "You're gonna live." And he just
Yeah,
went back and forth so frequently that like I think that like I think that McGravy was really good for that.
yeah. They played a super aggressive Diva and Lucio, definitely at the beginning. But I just feel like McGravy isn't as flexible as you kind of need your off tanks to be now. At least in my opinion.
Really? Like you
Uh,
think McGravy wasn't good on the Sigma role at all? I think his Zarya
I,
was lacking.
he was
What?
fine on Sigma, but you can get like I don't know. I feel like if you're only good at Diva and Sig, especially with how the metas have been developing right now, you kind of need either they have someone in the lineup that is just better than McGravy, and they're
Yeah.
just trying to like save money by dropping like their sort of weaker players. Because Dreamer is just better than Gig, so
Yeah,
they don't
Gig
need
I can
Gig.
understand. Gig is the player that I can Gig and Apply, we can get rid of them.
I,
I feel
I
bad for Gig because I think Gig was cool in that one clip where he gets the shatter and then the Diva bomb goes off.
yeah,
But
the fat shatter bomb combo. But
yeah.
I am surprised they jumped McGravy simply because of his personality and because he won the Dennis Havelka Award this
Yeah.
year, which is kind of like, for those who don't know, it's sort of being like a really positive member in the community, doing a lot of good, and he did
Mhm.
do a lot of good through like he was raising awareness for charity to social
I think McGravy
movements.
was just like a positive influencer in general.
Yeah,
Like even when you see him on the stage, you know, when we had stages, God, what was that like, right? Um, Oh, it's just so fun to watch Great McGravy. They have that one clip of him where he just looks across the screen and he's like you, and then he flips his mic down. I think that's a sick clip, and I hope McGravy gets picked up.
I don't know.
Like
I don't
hopefully
really
by
know
Outlaws or something. But yeah,
if they depends if Outlaws are going for a championship, which by picking up Junk Buck, I think they might be.
yeah,
I don't think they're gonna be looking for McGravy
yeah,
because unfortunately, off tank. I believe it says earlier, but like flex support, um, like sorry, flex support and flex tank are some of the most stacked roles in the league. That
yeah,
like if
yeah.
you're not top 10, then you're your
I
ass
mean,
can just be
let
out.
that be like a general lesson for everybody though who's like interested in playing Overwatch. Those roles are competitive literally because the DPS role is so over or like
Overflowed.
it's so oversaturated that the DPS just go, hey, you know what? I can just play Ana or I'll
Yeah.
play Zarya or some shit, and they just get cracked because they've got that insane mechanical skill
Yeah. If you
that kind
look
of
at
carries over.
yeah, if you look at just pure mechanics, like a lot of the great off tank players and flex supports are absolutely insane at DPS. Like
I mean,
Jonak and Violet are cracked.
like McGravy himself, he wasn't originally a Diva player. I knew this guy when he was a YouTuber playing McCree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the only reason why when Valiant signed McGravy in the first place, I was like, why this guy who didn't he make like McCree YouTube videos that were like kind of shitty? Like who's this Diva player? No, McGravy's great. And it's I'm a Valiant fan, so I'm personally like really saddened to see McGravy go because you're right, Jake. As much as I want to kind of stroke off McGravy, he's definitely not like a championship material, like you said. Definitely a good
No.
person, but Yeah, his performance is kind of.
I will say probably one of the last things to talk about during this whole Overwatch roster booming. The main support rush is going to be insane.
What?
So many people dropped their main supports. Like Jexay from Houston, Guangzhou dropped all their main supports.
Chara was Chara
Yeah,
good? Like, did you?
Chara,
I
I
don't
thought he was
remember
fine.
Chara. Yeah, Chara was
He
fine.
he looked really good when Guangzhou won the Summer Showdown, and then they also
Dude, they just got boomed. Like, they just never came back to that former glory.
yeah. And also, well, Boston dropped their main support.
Oh,
Obviously
wait, who was
Gladiators
that
did.
guy? Who's Boston support?
Halo,
Oh, Halo. Oh, who
yeah,
was the Boston support that was originally?
Swimmer.
Yeah,
There was Swimmer, and then he got mentally boomed and quit.
yeah.
And then
I mean,
Moth
there's
is
Byram as
also a
well.
free agent. Um,
Dude, how much
which
money do you think Moth is going to make? This is such a like this. I feel like this is a Sinatra moment, except for
Moth
Moth.
is just looking for the bag. Like he's
Yeah,
trying to
he's
secure
like,
the
hey.
bag, and he's either going for crazy money, which I think Shock should give him all the money they
I
fucking
mean, he's
have.
a two-time champion winner, so or championship
Yeah,
winner, so he's got nothing to lose now.
he's low key been carrying the team on his back. And
Yeah.
if they don't keep Moth, they have made the biggest mistake.
Yeah, Moth is just smart. Like I think he's
Unless it gets
uh
Slime.
like he does the proper call outs when I listen to those videos that are like, hey, YouTube video about San Francisco comms. Like he does the normal call out shit, but what I find that he's really good at is he knows when to initiate like those setup boops, right? Obviously
Yeah.
those are like setup plays that require like your tank, right? But I bet all along the way he's the one calling for that.
Oh yeah.
Like for that boot, like he's
100%.
running up and he's like, dude, right now, like I need you to put that ball, do like set play alpha B. We are kicking them into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think Moth is insane. Moth just has the insane game sense, and he's got the aim too. Like you see him play Zen and Ana.
You see him
Like
whip out the Glock on Mercy?
he's been doing that more and more lately. That's what I've noticed. Like he's starting to not give
A
a
lot
shit.
of main supports have started whipping out the Glock.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's something. It makes Mercy a little more exciting to play.
Basically, yeah.
Yo, I want to talk about I guess like while we're on the Overwatch topic, I want to just talk about what London Spitfire can have. Because I
Yeah.
believe there's some talk right now that London Spitfire is going to try to pick up an all EU team.
Yeah. Well, they dropped, I believe it says earlier, they dropped like the majority of their Korean roster. And then they have promoted the British Hurricane, which is their academy team's GM.
Oh, they promoted British Hurricane? Damn.
The GM, not the team.
Oh, the GM.
So, but I mean, you could see some players move up to follow her. And she did really good. British Hurricane are dominant in EU contenders. So odds are with bringing on an EU GM and they
Bro,
wanting to,
I need another moment of just like DeFran walking in out of nowhere. I just need to see Craggy walk in out of nowhere and just be like, all right, I'm just gonna do the same thing I did with British Hurricane. Put me on London Spitfire. I'll give you guys a championship and I'll just leave.
yeah.
God, I would love to see Craggy play though.
You want to see the one of the what is it, Danish tracer players go at it?
Dude, he's just so good, man. Like I love watching his stream because he's just good at everything. His Hog, his Zarya, his Reinhardt, his Ball, his Ana, his Zen, his Lucio, his Tracer, his McCree.
I like how you mentioned his tracer near the end.
Oh, dude, yeah, you gotta, because like I wanted to show like he could do a lot of things, and he's got the good Tracer. Yeah, no,
that'd be good. I think if they're picking up any of the free agents right now, they probably go Linkster and Boombox.
Dude, how many people do you think are dropping to Valorant? I bet Jaru's going to Valorant, and I wouldn't be surprised if Linkster did too. But Linkster's too valuable.
But Linkster said he still wants to play Overwatch.
Oh, he did? Okay, no.
Yeah. He's LFT right now.
Dude, I bet Neptuno is gonna go into Valorant. That's a hot take. Calling it now, because that motherfucker just loves whipping out his pistol every second he can get.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know how. I feel like a lot of people who would have gone to Valorant would have already gone because they were
Oh, you
able to
think so?
get the ridiculous salaries at the beginning. Like there's
Mm.
some bonkers salary numbers getting thrown around.
I mean, are the salary numbers not as high this time around? Because like First Strike is coming up, so I would have thought like all orgs are looking for teams right now.
They're looking for teams, but I don't think the salaries are as inflated because
As
at the
in,
beginning they got inflated because the massive Valorant numbers. Do you want to add something to that?
all right. Let's. I think that wraps up Overwatch League. Point being is that right now, what is it? Off season right now. There's a
Yeah.
lot of trades or drops. I guess that would not trades yet, but
The trade window, I believe it's either open now or it opens soon, and then
mhm.
the signing window is also opening within the next week or
Yeah,
two,
and
I
I
think.
think we should definitely have an episode on that because I'm so curious. This is like I want this is these are like big names too that are getting dropped like Blase, Dante, Neptuno, Dogman, Onigod, Crimzo,
Yeah,
OGE, and Meko. So like you can easily make like London Spitfire if they wanted to, they could easily make a better team with these leftover pieces.
for sure.
Uh, but yeah, let's go to the second topic of the day. This is coming from I just feel like there's a lot of things you could talk about in our next topic. It's a tweet posted by a fellow Valorant player, and I don't know what happened. Maybe he just went through like a couple bad games against Sentinels or Zombs, but Albert, if you don't mind stepping into the foray, I'm gonna reintroduce this guy if this is Albert. For some reason, his username's Kurt, but he's on the Valorant team for a school, and so we brought him on to. I want to know his 5 cents on like what he thinks about this tweet. First of all, Albert, you there? Oh, okay. I was about to say I'm trying to hype you up, Albert, but
Damn.
he is a bot versus Torp. Dude, Ross. All right, Ross. Ross with the flex. Craggy's Tracer apparently is a bot against the Torp. But like, I'm gonna be real. Sometimes like when I play Overwatch, I kind of just ignore people. I bet that's what Craggy does when he sees a Torp. He's like, you know what? Just
He probably just mentally clocks out.
what's wrong, Albert?
Oh, 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 here we go.
All right, Albert. What's your 5 cents on Sabrosa's take right now? Sabrosa's hot take. Yeah, yeah. Wasn't he like banned for cheating? Even though he wasn't cheating because he was just cracked. Yeah, yeah. The damage is done.
He's like a shit disturber.
I can definitely speak on like or speak from watching like a bunch of clips of Sabrosa. Yeah, that man is cracked. Like I'm surprised he didn't go to Overwatch because his aim
Oh,
is
pause
very
champ, pause champ.
what pause jam.
Apparently they can't hear Albert.
Oh, they can't hear Kurt. That's hilarious.
Ah, is this better?
Anyway, it's ironic because Albert is our tech guy, and we can't hear.
I mostly stay quiet during during the podcast. But anyways, I'll give the background once again. Um, he's just very in CS. He had a very controversial upbringing, and he sort of played off the controversy in like a memeish way, sort of like how Flusha did, where he
Mhm.
sort of admitted or like jokingly admitted to like, yeah, I know the code hacks. Yeah, and then like, but then like after all the clout from the Twitch clips and the rank S came and went, like he sort of faded into obscurity of tier 2 CS or like the old CLG roster. He just never came out. So I can see
Albert, could
Albert,
you turn
Albert,
the
are you
mic
able
up?
to turn? Yeah, are you able to turn your mic up at all?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I can. Yeah, so there's that. I just think that he was just awfully tilted this one day. He was awfully tilted this one
Dude, you could
game.
tell Sabrosa gets tilted too, because I know exactly the clip I know I'm thinking about. Do you guys remember that play where Sabrosa, it's just him against some other team on Haven, and they're like rushing down Haven C, and Sabrosa gets a 3K, and he's like somehow doesn't see the fourth guy, and the fourth guy just pistols him in the head. Is that like a moment you guys remember or not?
I don't remember.
I
either.
don't remember seeing that.
Look it up because it's such a vague description. But that was a moment where I can just tell Sabrosa was just mentally boomed. Because that round was like, I think it was game winning if TSM got that, but they just lost that point, and then they just lost the game, lost the match. So Sabrosa's hilarious.
I feel like what happened is he queued up 11 p.m. ranked. He ended up in like a 1-hour queue, and they ended up against the FaZe Clan stack of like, the Baby Bay, Corey, Zachary, Raucus, and they were like a 5 stack or whatever. And then he was a bunch of solos. He had the diamond on his team. Everything went wrong.
You know
and he
what?
just
That's
gave up.
exactly what it sounds like.
I
Because
think that's exactly what happened.
yeah, because I'm gonna talk some hot shit here. This is coming from like what am I, like silver in Valorant? Dude, Raucus would
Damn,
not
I'm better
contribute
than
much.
you. What the hell?
Raucus would not contribute that much, man. I'm just calling it now. He would not contribute. Dude, okay, this will be my last moment. I'm like just shitting on Raucus because I just have a hate boner for this guy.
Like
It's because everyone hypes up Raucus so much in Overwatch. Like they're like,
Did
such
they?
a good.
Everyone was shitting on Raucus.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think
nobody
you've
was
been
hyping
Reddit,
up
man.
Raucus.
okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe in the past he was hyped up, but like I've just hated on Raucus for so long that like, damn.
Holy fuck.
But yeah, what was really interesting to me about this tweet though is that I believe we were talking about this before the stream as well. But let's just talk about this concept of aim, because this I like this tweet because it does kind of stroke my ego off
Okay,
for
boy.
playing
Okay, boy.
Overwatch. But it's kind of just a as the Twitch kids would say, it's kind of just a Papega statement. And I think the real juice lies in the replies of this this tweet, because these replies are hilarious. They're talking as if like, hey, this is true. Look at the hitboxes, or like, let's shout out to like Sinatra and Zoms. And then I'm just thinking like, all right, let's slow down here, bro. Let's before like the people like me, us normies, get all into it. There's like only one good Overwatch player. There's only like one really good Overwatch
You
player.
could say two, but they're on the
Oh,
same
there's
team.
Raucus in the replies.
Wait, there is. I don't
He's
see
showing
him.
up. Yeah, scroll down a little bit more.
Oh, I see him.
Yeah, like it's like, Raucus, why are you here? You're just here because you have the Overwatch badge, not because we're talking about you. Get out of here. But anyway, yeah, it's just. But like, I think what's interesting about the aim aspect is that like I think that's only true for like one map in the game right now, and it's just Icebox. Because other than that, Valorant is pretty. I would say like Valorant. It's still more suited towards the CS type of aim, though.
But then, with this like.
Well, I found. Okay, so another thing I guess we should talk about is or actually before that, Albert, could you update the title?
Oh yeah,
LA
shit. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Right. Okay, give me a second here.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, on the aim aspect, I think what's really interesting is that the only reason why I bet Sabrosa got fucked by an Overwatch player is probably because he was playing against an Overwatch player who played Jet and just dashed and just up boosted immediately in front of it. And Sabrosa was like, dude, I can't. Man, he just used all of his abilities. What am I supposed to do?
Okay. I have a take. I think you guys also have the same take as me on this one. I
What's the
genuinely
take?
think, I genuinely think, almost all CS players
Yeah.
are so used to their game, or Valorant players are so used to their game, they can't. Their aim is kind of like
I actually agree with that.
some.
Oh
No,
god,
no,
my camera glitched out.
Yo,
It kind of
Yeah,
looks like
we can just see Jake
kind of looks
running
like a
in the
mustard
corner.
nut.
that's a nice emote we can have right there, dude. Don't worry.
No, but I think
Uh,
that's a take that I do agree with you, Albert. I think CS players are definitely like used to a certain type of movement as well. I remember the first thing Chaitan I think Chaitan's good. For those of you who don't know who Chaitan is, he's the captain of the Valorant UVCO Valorant esports team. So he is good. And so like when I say this, I say it with humor and love. But I remember when Chaitan first played Overwatch, he just could not keep up with the speed because he was like tracers blinking everywhere, Mercy's flying across the screen,
Yeah.
Reinhardt's charging.
There's a shield blocking me. There's a Winston putting his Tesla gun up my ass. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I feel like what's it? So like the context of what I played before when I was a baby. I played Team Fortress 2. It's like Boomer Overwatch to all you kids nowadays. But like when you play the competitive sixes, when you play competitive sixes in that game, it's so hectic that comms sound like an Overwatch match. But
Yeah.
but I personally I also went pro in CS. Like I found that aim mechanics transferred to TF2 better than CS when it transferred back to TF2 because I jumped back in and back between the games.
Yeah, and it's because like I for like I don't know, for lack of a better word, kind of like I'm gonna create a martial arts analogy here, where while that may be the case, I think CS still holds value for that aim. Like I think Subrosa's tweet is still vague because I think CS still sets you up for some like really solid aim fundamentals. It won't transfer well because you're just used to like a certain movement, but that's what CS is. Like the movement kind of becomes like a technique. It's something unique to just CS. Like, is there any game you guys can think of that other than Valorant? Okay, we can't count Valorant here because they're kind of the same game. But yeah, Valorant like Sky Rossum says, Strat is crazy because of CS. It's
think-
because of Shroudo's a CS guy, and he just has that sharp aim from his CS days. That like all he does is add movement. Movement is like a loosening of restriction. So it's like if a guy who was good at Taekwondo switched to like I don't know, like MMA fighting. The Taekwondo would definitely like provide a good, solid, like foundation where you have your strength, but it's not going to be like as good in MMA. And that's the same thing when you go from CS:GO to Overwatch in that sense, where it's like CS won't give you the movement or it won't give you this game sense or like the really like situational awareness you need for Overwatch when all shit hits the fan. But what CS will really help with is that aim is fucking insane.
I
So
think
like, yeah, I think CS can grinds in some good fundamentals, and it'd be nice if he like just didn't post this tweet because I think this tweet just started shit, or just sparked up an opinion thing that just didn't really need to be sparked up.
No, it's just him throwing shade and people actually having egos to stroke. But
Yeah. I definitely feel like CS develops things on the lines of like obviously crosshair placement, like crosshair placement's reaction time, just flicking for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
less tracking. Yeah, definitely.
there's not much tracking because of the random, or not the random straight patterns, but just
no,
having like
it's
the
not
recoil.
really. It's not really that. It's more like you have kill time.
Yeah, it's kill time
It's
because the
kill time.
headshots just one shots,
Yeah,
right?
precisely.
Yeah.
So like when you see like TF2 or Overwatch, you're like, that guy's 200 HP, 300, and it takes 3 shots for me to kill. And these shots aren't like automatic. These are pump action, sniper rifles, projectiles. These are things that are gonna take time. That's why I think like it's like I was like thinking about this talking to my friend who's like an ESCA, well, was an ESCA IM. He like won like $1,000 or some shit. But like
Mhm.
he said that like a lot of if you think about it, TF2 is more, or like Overwatch in general, it has like this sort of like consistency of tracking due to the fact you just have to be consistent, like ridiculously consistent with your aim.
Yeah.
And while CS is like you get, there are so many more bursts when you see it, and then
Yeah. But you know what's crazy though? On the topic of consistency, I actually interpret both games as a form of consistency. It's just that it's what factor you need to be consistent with. For example, in Overwatch, I think you need to be consistent with your aim, like just tracking, like you said. But in CS and Valorant, I think you need to be consistent with your trades, because if you can like enter, I think in a Valorant or a CS game, if you got like one kill every round, that would be such a big bonus for your team. Like you'd have 18 kills right off the bat, right? Like most games go 18, 30, or not 30, but like 18. And that's still pretty impressive. If you can average one kill per per round, hell, if you're like really good and you start consistently pumping out like 2 kills per round, or just like 2 kills worth of damage, that's nuts. That's what you need to do in CS. And it's just a completely different thing, you know, where Overwatch requires you to be consistent with your aim. CS seems to be requiring that you be consistent with your positioning and stuff like that.
Well, I feel like that's because in CS you have, I think Albert already said this, but it's so bursty in forms of like the fight, because there's
Yeah.
all the setup, there's the positioning, because you have that such short time to kill
Yeah.
of like literally like, you know, you can be dead from one shot if you
Mhm.
get hit in the head. So you need to spend more time focusing on not getting caught out in a
Mhm.
place where you just die, and then also being able to just hit that shot, because that's all that matters for the most part, is hitting one shot in one
Yeah.
round. But in Overwatch and similar games, it's hitting multiple shots across for basically, say an average match time is 15 20 minutes. You're having to hit shots basically for 15 20 minutes
Yeah, and
constantly.
like there's just sheer value gain from just tickling someone, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, even if that person isn't dying, they're taking up someone's heal resources. And so by you constantly pressuring them, you're taking like the heal pressure away. And it's crazy how much you get done just by being, you know, consistent in things.
Overwatch has constant uptime just for like
Yeah, that's another
just
thing
for
that
movement, and like your movement, you want to always be doing something.
yeah.
But I feel like Valorant always takes constant like brain power. And
It
CS,
does, yeah, because
because you
you
need to
gotta
figure out where they're going, where you're gonna position
yeah.
yourself, how you're gonna move, when you think they're gonna peak, all that. Like that
Mhm.
is where I think the Valorant skills and CS comes from,
Yeah,
personally.
yeah. Yeah, and what's kind of rough a little these days though is that like, you guys ever notice how there's only really 2 types of games right now? Like I would say hero shooters, but it's really just Overwatch and Search and Destroy. And I say Search and Destroy because we have 3 prominent Search and Destroy games right now: Siege, CS, and Valorant being the 3 that come into mind.
But would you
Uh,
not say COD is also one of the big games?
yeah.
Uh,
You know, Albert knows how I feel. It's like you kind of take a deep sigh and you're like, yeah, we can
I'm not shitting on anybody, but
yeah,
okay,
we
sure.
can put COD in
I
the
mean, I don't
top.
know. I feel like Call of Duty had a pretty good year.
Hey, that's fair.
I just think my problem with COD though is that it just doesn't feel fun to watch because everyone is just running the same guns and they're just
Yeah.
holding things, because that's what's weird about I think that's what makes COD kind of ass for its search and destroy mode, is because like you make it into the round format like CS, right? Except because you can run at the speed of light as well, what you instead get is a game where you everyone should be moving and taking ground and taking positions, but instead what you get is a sweaty game of CS where the guns are just hella easy to use.
Yeah. It's essentially
Yeah,
just like it turns into more of a death match than an
yeah,
actual.
It really
and
is.
it's like it's not even, it just becomes a boring death match because you're like, of course, okay, you know what? He had an MP5, he was all the way over there. Fucking shoot me. All right, that's over with. And then you got to do it again. But like, yeah, those are okay, including COD too, for its competitive modes. But even so, that's like only 2 game modes for FPSs. Isn't that crazy? Like there's we can talk about battle royales as well.
Okay.
But battle royale, I think, can be agreed upon like everyone who's here that like it's not competitive.
It,
No.
it never took off. It had so little chances of
Yeah.
it being competitive because of the
I
in-game
think
elements.
Apex actually has a good chance of making it competitive though. Have you guys been like keeping up with what Apex has done?
No.
Not especially.
Okay, so two things I think Apex included is that they made like a ring that literally just goes randomly. Like rather than going like pushing people into like an area, right? They did like, oh, there's a lot of people. Oh no, I remember how they did it. Instead of doing like a ring just constantly closing, they would just put the ring somewhere where there's a lot of density and just kind of push it that way. So the ring spot would always be changing rather than like it's just a big ring coming in kind of thing. And then the second thing, which I thought was really cool, is that they got rid of armor and they added an Evo armor, which is like which is an idea I had, but I'm glad they implemented it, is that the armor works by kills. If you get more kills, you get more armor charge refilled. That's the beauty of it. So you can only get access to higher tier armor if you got killed.
That's actually pretty smart. Yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And I would have loved to have seen something interesting like a bounty system where it's like the top player, whoever's fragging the most, suddenly has like a ping so everyone can see him on the radar. And that way it would counterbalance the fact that like the top player probably has the best guns and the best armor. So there's a radar on his back.
But in terms of like esports and competitiveness, that would incentivize people to just not be good. Because then they get your position spotted, and then
you know what? That's true. That's true.
Like you know, it kind of random who the top player is, right?
Yeah.
Like and then you end up just people just be like, oh, I'm not gonna try and get kills. I'm just gonna grab the best loot I can and never engage. And
That's
then I'll
true.
be like the underdog and people don't know I exist. And then I'll just be able to frag whoever the the best player is.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you know what? Actually, you're right. That is kind of fucked. Man, BRs are just fuck BRs. So like I don't know.
Fuck
I
BRs,
stopped.
man.
I stopped
Yeah,
playing
fuck
BRs
it's
after a
fine. It's
while.
fine. We like that's like a weird pond we don't ever want to go around. Okay, like
Yeah,
It's
dude,
like
I think
it's like the
among
third child that's a mistake that nobody
Yeah.
wants to tell is a mistake.
it's like
and
all
it
the
just-
casual people will like flock to Warzone and Fortnite, but all the sweaty shooters are like, ooh, VR. I don't know about that shit.
I think it's because in BRs you can't grind. You really can't grind
Yeah,
BRs
it's
to
pretty
get better
luck-based.
because it's kind of random. So you can't like try to be consistent and be good.
Yeah, dude, I
Um,
remember like the perfect clip for when I played Fortnite that ruined battle royales for me. I think this was like my 5th time playing Fortnite or something, and I was playing with my friend, and we both landed. I picked up a pistol, and I knew a guy landed next to me, and I'm like, okay, he's fucking dead. I'm gonna kill this guy. I turned the corner, bro has a rocket launcher, and I'm like, it's already over before
I
it's
mean,
begun.
I kind of realized BRs were a meme when I started playing Warzone.
Yeah.
And Ross introduced me to the truck strat, where you just find a truck and run people over for the entire game.
Yeah.
And we literally like won games doing that. So for the most part, it's kind of just a meme, if I'm being honest. Like yeah, our battle royales, they're like the most popular genre right now, right? Or
Yeah.
one of the most popular. They're great games. I can't as much
Yeah,
as
they're
I like to
definitely
shit
fun.
on Fortnite for being like, lol, I'm 12, I like Fortnite. It's still undeniably a very successful and good game.
Yeah.
It's just in terms of like competitiveness, or even just from like someone who wants to grind and try to get better at a game, they just don't work.
Yeah. But like that's so like small though. I wonder what like other things you could do with FPS, because I'd like to see games try that more. You know, try some different game modes. And this topic was kind of inspired when I was playing. Do you guys know what Rivals of Aether is?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
okay, but all you really need to know about Rivals of Aether is that it's just Smash. That's all you really need to know.
Yeah. Just for
Just go
baby
look
talk,
this
it's
up.
essentially Smash, but
Yeah,
it has
it's
some
just
stuff.
Smash. So me and Chathan were playing it the other day, and there was this update that came out, and so they added a new game mode, and it was called Tetherball mode. And I'm like, this is so fucking creative. This is the fighting game format, except the only difference is even though both people can get kills, the main point, the objective of the game is to just punt this tetherball around. And it's just a game of tetherball, but you can just beat the fuck out of the other player if you wanted to. And so I thought that was like a pretty unique idea. Obviously, it's not the most competitive, but I can see how how you can actually how there could be like some kind of quirky, crazy game that makes that a competitive thing. And I'd love to see what we could do with shooters. For example, I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it's like called Time Warp or some shit. It was on Steam.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
I might.
Wait,
Albert.
Nah,
Is the
this one
name?
nah.
I don't think the name is Time Warp.
It's not Time Warp. Oh my god. Anyway, I was gonna do like a.
Is it a new game?
It's not Time Warp. It's a game in beta. Yeah, and I thought that game was like one of the most innovative shooters to actually come out because Corey says it best. It's imagine a shooter, but you have to actually run to the opponent's face and run back.
Oh my god.
No, that's not it. Never mind.
that's not
I
it.
was just that's not it. I was laughing at what you say. Never mind. No, the actual game concept was about you essentially like it's a 3v3 and it's a round based kind of game as well, but the difference is that like every round is quote unquote permanent. So you would run out and like let's say you got shot by like another guy, right? So you die and the round ends. The next round you'd spawn as a clone of yourself. So one clone would do what you did last round, and now in the second round you could just fuck off and do whatever. So you can
Wait,
kill the
what?
guy. Yeah, I know it's crazy. It's crazy.
What?
I don't know if you guys can are keeping up with me because this is some big brain shit, like timey wimey bullshit here. But yeah, and so like how the game worked is that essentially you'd have time copies of yourself, and they would just work off AI. So that person, when you got shot in the first round and in the second round you shot the guy who killed you, your clone would survive. And then it would just do AI shit. Like it would just start shooting at random shit. And it just,
What?
yeah, it's so cool.
That's
And
so insane.
Yeah, and then you can do like straight up like 4 rounds of this shit. So you can see you can easily imagine how this shit escalates. And so another
That's
like and the
crazy.
final cream, like the little fancy salt, the fancy rock salt on
Like
top
the
is that
finishing salt?
is that you spawn in with like one of like I think 5 weapons, like a sniper rifle, grenade launcher, shotgun, and that shit. So like you could spend one run round just literally spamming nothing with a grenade launcher that just becomes relevant in like 2 turns later or something.
Oh, wait, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's so nuts.
So theoretically, I could shoot straight up with my grenade launcher, kill myself, and then
Yes.
someone else, and then my clone will go and try and kill itself again.
Yeah.
But then that guy will run into my nades, killing him.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could
That
do
makes
some.
no sense.
You can do some fucking stupid shit like that, but like I haven't seen other shooters try to improvise like this. Like I
It's
think
creative.
I think it's a little sad to see that like Overwatch is the really only real hero shooter I know. That's really redundant. I'm sorry. I'll learn some proper English later. But yeah, like there's Rogue Company. That's another new one that came out. That's a hero
Yeah.
shooter. But it's like I hope people can understand what I mean when I say competitive. There are hero shooters out there, but nowhere, like none of them are as near as known for their esports scene other than Overwatch.
I mean, there was the Amazon game Crucible that tried to do something. And
Yeah,
they
see,
died.
that's like,
It kind of like came out, died immediately on release, and then Amazon took it out back old Yeller style and shot it in the back of the head. Like, you
yeah,
know.
we'll bring it back, I swear.
You know.
Dead.
Oh yeah, wait. Corey reminded me of something hilarious. You're right. There's also the Paladins team where
Oh,
where I think-
Paladins.
dude, Albert, I don't know if you remember this, but like ninjas in pajamas converted their Paladins team into their Val.
Wait, wait, what? Into their Val? I thought it was OW. Wait, I thought it was.
No, it wasn't OW. That was the hilarious part. It wasn't even Overwatch. They just converted their Valorant team or their Paladins team.
Wow.
Like, have you boys ever tried Paladins?
Oh, I
No.
have. It's too fucking easy, man.
Dude, that game before I downloaded Rogue Company was the game I played if I ever wanted to just like shit on people and make myself feel better. Like the hitboxes are so broken.
It's...
Yeah, so like there's hero shooters that are lame, but I feel like you could do other things. Another interesting idea that comes into mind is, do you guys remember the Rocket Arena game that came out? It's like $44
Rocket
for
Arena.
some reason. It looks like a free to
Rocket
play.
Arena game.
Yeah, and it's like everyone has a rocket launcher, and all the point of the game is to like shoot the enemy to push them off the map, not even to kill them,
Just
but to shoot them off the map.
just play Diabolical Rocket 2v2.
Yeah. So there's
Like, just play
diabolical
that.
as well.
TF2 Soldier MGE, Pharaoh 1v1,
Oh, no,
like everything, literally.
It's not just the fact that it has rockets that I was interested in. I found the game, even though it was kind of goofy and it was definitely meant for like a younger audience. But what was interesting is the game mode was cool. It's like playing Smash, but on like a shooter.
FPS.
Yeah, it's not like an arena shooter though. Yeah, Rocket Arena. Wow, it's literally called Rocket Arena.
I got you covered, man.
Yeah, and so
They didn't spend a lot of money on the creative department.
yeah, you can tell how like goofy this game. This game's like $44. Can you believe that? This game is stupid.
No, this is
That's crazy.
44.
Does that say 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10?
Wait.
Like 6.7 out of 10. But it's just fun. It's just funny. Oh, it's $7 now? What?
Wait, no, this is on Steam.
It's per month.
It's per month.
No?
No, fuck, no.
That's
no.
what
Oh.
EA Play.
Dude, this guy has EA Play.
No,
Gross.
look, man, you have to play.
Yucky.
You have to play Apex somehow.
I see. In order to play Apex, man gets the EA Play subscription, of course.
Oh no, I don't. But they're just saying like, get it on EA Play.
Oh, yeah.
I think in terms of creativity in FPS or the FPS genre, it's kind of hard because so many FPS like gamers, I guess, are very stuck in their ways. Like, especially if you look at like arena shooter, that community, they
Yeah.
don't want anything to change. They want
Oh, yeah.
everything to go back to like Quake 2 or whatever. They want it to be 1996. They want to be, duct taped to the ceiling for a LAN party. I don't fucking know. But they want, that's what they want. They want everything to be the same. They don't want any form of innovation. And then even if you look at Call of Duty, right? You have the whole skill-based matchmaking thing that we talked about last week, which also has another tweet from Courage where he doesn't want to play Call of Duty anymore.
Wait,
Hold on. I'm
what?
sorry. We gotta take up Kurt. I mean, while you're talking, Albert, could you pull up this tweet?
Yeah,
I did
I'm
not know
looking
this
for it
tweet.
right now.
Yeah, he tweeted out like today or yesterday or something that he fucking hates
Anyway,
Call of Duty.
if Albert can find it, or if I can find it, but yeah, keep talking about it.
So they don't want anything to change at all, right?
Mhm.
And that is, if I was a company, I'd be very scared about making something unique because you don't know if it's going to be good, or
Mhm.
you just stick with your tried and true methods and game modes, but you just make them a little bit shinier, make them look nicer, maybe add a new mechanic here or there that isn't too controversial, and then you're good to go. Yeah,
You know what
that's the tweet right there.
Yeah, you know what the craziest part about this arena shooter debacle is? For like them obsessing. I just want to say this one bit before we transition to Courage's hot take. But man, what's stupid is that I know exactly what you're talking about, Jake. Like this is all in response to Diabolical. That's the craziest part. Their own like game genre is dying, but they refuse to play Diabolical because of the very things you said. It's not like Quake. Oh, it's balls. Oh, you don't need to run around the map to pick up guns. Like that's such a dated way of playing the game. I'm gonna be real here, and I'm glad. For those who are listening, I think everyone here should go download and support Diabolical if you
I
can.
can agree. Like I feel like
it's the game that's actually trying to update itself to keep up with its audience. Like, do you remember when it first came out, Jake? How many game modes they had?
Yeah, they had a lot.
And then they just got rid of a couple of them. Like
they removed like a lot of them from just the matchmaking.
Yeah.
Which was a really weird change.
No, it's a smart change because that way
You think it's smart?
Yeah, it consolidates players because you have
Oh,
so many
yeah,
yeah, you have so many random game modes that are like 4v4, 1v1, 2v2. But if no one's gonna
3v3.
play them, like the you know not the aim arena, but you know the ranked where you actually have to like play on the map and play like actual Quake. You know, it's 1v1.
Yeah, the
Yeah, you
1v1 duel,
pick up the
right?
map. Yeah, they made it 1v1 duel, and originally there was a 1v1, 2v2, and a 3v3 option. But
Yeah.
it's because it's such a dated way of playing the fucking game that they just got rid of these and it's like, hey, if you're still that sweaty, we have one game mode, 1v1s, just for you. And it's so much smarter. Like no one's gonna play those dead game modes like 2v2 and 3v3. So it's smarter to just consolidate your players.
Hey, I was top 500 2v2. Fuck off.
And
I want
Hey,
to keep that one.
Rocket Arena 2v2s. That one is fine.
Yeah, Rocket 2v2s. Leave me alone. You know, like.
Wait, okay, all right. Let's let's take a read on Courage's hot take here. Has killed my love for standard Call of Duty multiplayer. There's no pop-off game. There's no ability to use fun weapons. You have to sweat 100% of the time. They want everyone to have a 1.0 KD and get a participation trophy. So sad. And then here's the kicker. He says Warzone saved me.
Yeah, that's a take.
Your
That's
guys are
100% a take.
It's my favorite part is like it's interesting. Like the takes are there, but then he just ruins himself by saying Warzone saved me.
Yeah, like I could kind of understand the first bit. I get it. He wants to pub stomp some people from time to time in quick play.
Yeah.
I get it. Whatever. But then he goes to Warzone. Like, what the fuck is he smoking? Like,
Also,
why do you want to go play Warzone when I guess like yeah, you want to pub stomp people. What if you like just fly in, you get third partied, or like, you know, you just drop in and someone whips out like the shoddy right off the bat and just blaps you in the head. And it's like, oh, I guess that round's over. Time to queue up again. Smile.
I think one thing I've realized about COD and like how people react like this, I think Courage of all people has no right to say there's no ability to use fun weapons. Okay. Because I think every streamer that or like anyone who's related to COD social media has not done a single interesting thing with COD weapons. I think if we want to talk about like creativity within a game set, right? I think COD Modern Warfare has some of the most fun guns I've ever used. And this is coming from like me who loves arena shooters. I think there's a lot of like underpowered guns in that game that could definitely use some love, but I don't know. Courage says there's no use or there's no ability to do so, which is stupid because like you just do it. Like he said there's no ability to use fun weapons. You just fucking do it. Like what?
I feel like maybe he's just talking about the higher levels of matchmaking, which I can understand that yeah, you're probably gonna have to play the meta if you want to like win. But I feel like for your average player, you're still just gonna play whatever you want, right?
And
Unless
also
unless the weapon's just like absolute trash, then like they might swap. But I don't know.
I still don't like this take because I think those kind of questions are ultimately like what lies that sort of power lies in the player. Like for example, remember when Ana was just asked before they buffed her out of the wazoo and then nerfed her again?
I didn't
Like
really
in the recent buffs of Ana. Like before that happened, Ana wasn't that used. But I think if you really like a weapon or a character, like whether it be a rocket launcher, a shitty character, just fucking use the character. I don't really think the argument for there's no ability to use fun weapons holds, especially if you're like as good as Courage says he is. Because if you're good, then your aim will just speak for itself and you'll just pop off using interesting weapons anyway. You know,
Yeah.
the M4 is a laser, yeah, but you can still kill someone with a laser if you're just better than them.
Yeah, I mean it's it's a weird take. It's a classic right now Call of Duty take where
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, wait. I would like to say some things, which I'm really hoping this is how I get people from that newly created COD channel to come on in. Because I'd actually just like to talk to someone about like their interpretation and what their beliefs of COD should be and stuff like that. Because I think this kind of tweet, like what Courage said, is the exact reason why I'm so interested in the COD community. Like I feel like they're just so different from like the rest of us shooters. Like if you talk to a Valorant guy, he'll be like, "All right, I'm grinding the aim labs, I'm learning the lineups, and I'm gonna fucking win, right?" But then in COD, like most of the COD players are just like, skill-based matchmaking sucks. Why can't I use a gun that's not an M4? Or why can't I pub stomp? These are like such weird complaints to come out, right?
Is it because COD is potentially
$60.
like, well, yeah, but I was gonna say it's probably, at least as from what I understand, it's more of an NA game, right? Like Call of Duty
Yeah,
isn't that
it's definitely
much.
an NA game.
So would that not be because it's an NA mindset? You know, like
The game is just populated by shitters.
like NA is kind of a shitter region when it comes to esports.
It is a shitter
In
region.
terms of like
region.
EU, Asia,
Yeah,
generally have higher work ethic.
yeah,
And a lot of people that play COD are more used to just like, let's be real, pro COD players, in my opinion, they're just like gamers, right?
yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
gamers that are good enough that they can make something out of what they're doing. But it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's I think at their core, I don't think you can, like, yes, they're esports professionals, but they don't really like embody the word professional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they, yeah, I agree. They're not definitely. They come out with sweaters and shit, and even Overwatch, where like Overwatch itself is nowhere serious at all. Like with the flashiness, the colors, even they try to put more effort into like making their players look professional. You know,
For the most
with the
part, yeah.
the jerseys and all that. But
Well, the jerseys, but I don't think it's the jersey. I just think it's like conduct and in terms of like
yeah,
ethic, because they're scrimming like multiple times a day. They're grinding the game a bunch,
mhm.
and it's just like, you know,
Fashion.
I just saw that.
But yeah, I'm yeah, if you guys, to anyone who's listening, if you guys know someone who's really into COD, I'd love to talk to them for just talk about what shooters and what we can do with it. But yeah, courage, you're I'm not a courage watcher, so I'm gonna have to say go fuck yourself. You're just mad cause bad.
I think that may be a hot take, but yeah, sure.
He's like some random shitter on the internet. Could you bad?
Some
That's
random ass shitter on a nobody podcast that's called him said mad cause bad.
dude, let's be real here. You can definitely tell.
Can't wait for this clip to pop off.
You could definitely tell what kind of player someone is based on how they react to mad cause bad. Oh man, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't have the right experience right now, but the way shooters are going, I think like I'm a little bored of what they could become because like I think Valorant is cool and it is an up and coming game, but like the format has been done before and for like I don't know, I could just think of like multiple reasons we could talk about for like another episode, but for what I see, I think Valorant's development, we've already seen something similar to that already in the form of CS and Overwatch. I want to see like a game like Rocket League, but for like shooters, you know, where the game itself is so fucking random, you know, it's cars
Yeah.
hitting balls, and I
Like a
I think that's a
unique,
cool,
like a unique sort of take.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I think you could do some cool stuff with FPSs, you know, like whether it be shooting a ball, Doomfist mechanics. I'm surprised that like there's no one else, like no other character in any other game that's quite like Doomfist.
I
Like
mean,
I
it's
feel
just
like
people hate Doomfist.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, like no other character in other games like Doomfist. What do you
well,
mean?
because like I think you can make an entire game just around Doomfist.
Okay.
His kit is
Yeah,
so
it's called
fucking
Super Smash
cool.
Bros.
Yeah. No, it's called
Yeah.
Rocket Jump. It's like what is it? Rocket Arena. It's Rocket Arena.
Isn't Vi like Doomfist? Man, I don't. Okay, if Vi is like Doomfist, let's make one thing clear. You looking down on someone going like "Hiya" is completely different from me actually going like that's so cool. And I think like Overwatch has just a lot of characters who could be interesting for like an entire FPS. Like imagine if you just did an arena shooter with like
Reinhardt.
sim turrets or like sim
Oh.
teleporters.
Oh, never
That
mind.
thing would be chaotic. Yeah, or like Genji. Isn't Genji like Doomfist? Yeah, but I'm talking about like a game.
Yeah, they both have a shift and an E.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And a Q.
Oh, and a left click. And a
But yeah,
right click.
I would like to see I'd like to see a more creative taking of FPSs. I get it. I think we're in an age of esports right now, which is why like a lot of games in general are just hopping onto that bandwagon. But I think we could definitely do better. And it would be really fucking lame if in the next 2 years, the best game to come out, or the next 3 years, right? The best game to come out is fucking Valorant.
Overwatch 2,
It's
smile.
just it's
Yeah,
just
Overwatch 2, man. No matter how good Overwatch 2 is, if the only two games that are notable in my head by year, what is it, like 2025, if it's still fucking Overwatch 2 after delayed productions and Valorant on its like, I don't know, like third new character or something, yeah, that's a pretty disappointing 5 years in my books.
yeah, like but it's
Weren't your
mostly
last 5 years pretty disappointing?
oh.
No, because the last 5 years introduced Overwatch, you know?
True.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Overwatch came out 4 years ago. Hey, there we go.
God.
Even better. 5 years compasses Overwatch and a little extra.
oh god.
Oh God.
But yeah, I think that'll about wrap things up. If you guys want to join me on shitting on games, you can have your final thoughts now. But otherwise, if people listening would like to join me shitting on games and people without having the prerequisites to do so, I think we're always looking for like a guest, you know. And if you guys have like an interesting idea you'd want to talk about, hey, I have 2 hours to waste in my day. Yeah. Anyway,
Thanks, everyone.
this is Paul. That's my co-host Jake. If my arm is actually no, it's there we go. That's my co-host Jake, and Kurt would or Albert would be here if he had his camera. But yeah, that's it for episode 2. Signing off from the satellite.
Thanks, everyone.
And I